Welcome, we're Ellie Georgiev and Hyunjin Kim, and today we would like to tell you more about the history of marketing. We're going to discuss the earliest stages when marketing was merely used as propaganda and how contemporary marketing has evolved into social science. We will start with some examples of adverts and promotional campaigns that would be considered inappropriate or would be forbidden today. Another famous example related to early usage of PR is how in the 1930s American Tobacco encouraged French fashion designers to create their new lines in dark green to popularize the color just because Lucky Strike packs were dark green and the tobacco tycoon wanted to popularize smoking for women. Letters were written to interior and fashion designers, department stores and prominent women of society pushing green as the new hot color for the season. In the end, American Tobacco anonymously sponsored a charity ball at which the color theme was green and the hit of the evening were the green Lucky Strikes. Many people thought that propaganda is essentially marketing that uses one-sided messages to influence attitudes, opinions and actions. In fact, prior to World War II, there was no real distinction between the two terms. This sequence of images related to World War II refers to political or nationalist uses of these techniques for the promotion of a set of ideas. In the past, such obvious propaganda was often used to influence opinions and beliefs.
Frederick the Great of Prussia was very, very keen for the Germans to adopt the potato and to eat it, because he realized that if you had two sources of carbohydrate, wheat and potatoes, you get less price volatility in bread, and you get a far lower risk of famine, because you actually had two crops to fall back on, not one. The only problem is, potatoes, if you think about it, look pretty disgusting, and also 18th century Prussians ate very, very few vegetables. He tried making it compulsory. The Prussian peasantry said, we can't even get the dogs to eat these damn things. They're absolutely disgusting and they're good for nothing. There are even records of people being executed for refusing to grow potatoes. So he tried plan B, he tried the marketing solution, which is he declared the potato as a royal vegetable and none but the royal family could consume it. And he planted it in a royal potato patch with guards who had instructions to guard over it night and day, but with secret instructions not to guard it very well. Now, 18th century peasants know there's one pretty safe rule in life, which is if something's worth guarding, it's worth stealing. Before long, there was a massive underground potato growing operation in Germany. What he'd effectively done is he'd rebranded the potato.
The term marketing was derived from the Latin word marketus, which means to trade or buy and sell goods in market. Historical accounts of trade and the usage of propaganda messages in adverts leads to the conclusion that marketing has always existed. It has just evolved over the years to the form in which we know it today. However, the official history of marketing thought starts in the beginning of the 20th century, when some theory was borrowed from economics, and in fact, the early students of marketing were actually educated as economists. However, in time, these students evolved a body of thought that by its nature, scope and application set them apart from the usual economists. In the 1950s, the marketing mix was first introduced. It is interesting to know that between the 1900s and the 1960s, 100 books dealing with general marketing were published. In the 1960s, the first analysis and mentioning the fourth piece of marketing and classifying marketing as a subsystem of business. The 1970s brought about the social responsibility of marketing, the obligation to conform to the raw expectations sanctioned by society. It should be noted that up to the late 1980s, most people actually saw marketing as manipulative, wasteful, intrusive and unprofessional, mainly because they were associating it with the propaganda advertising that has been around from the beginning of the century. According to the American Marketing Association, marketing is the performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from producer to consumer or user. Philip Kotler is a recognized marketing specialist. His book Marketing Management is the world's most widely used graduate-level textbook in marketing. Kotler's concept of marketing is related to management and economics theory combined with marketing. He describes the marketing process as the process of analyzing marketing opportunities, selecting target markets, developing the marketing mix, and managing the marketing effort, Overall, marketing is typically seen as the task of creating, promoting, and delivering goods and services to consumers and businesses. According to Kotler, marketing thought has always been developed as guiding the formation of business policy, and marketing is a universal business system rather than a cultural social system. According to him, marketing is more of a social science and not merely about doing business, because contemporary marketing applies many theories that were borrowed from other disciplines like psychology and sociology. So marketing must be regarded not merely as a business practice, but as a social institution, because marketing is essentially a means of meeting and satisfying certain needs of people. So when viewed in broader perspective, marketing would be a discipline of social science or a science of society. Overall, contemporary marketing can be defined as both an economic process and a social process. With changes in our concept of marketing, the future holds further evolution of the body of marketing.